Hey guys, so a couple of the pairs that I put in last night are spawning, so I'm gonna try and video a little bit of it for you without hopefully disturbing them too much. This pair are what are called koi placots, or basically they're red marble placots. And there's the wrap. I don't know if any eggs are going to show up on this video or not. But you see the female kind of floats at the top and the male grabs the eggs as they sink. You can see the female starting to recover, and once the female recovers, she will go and pick up the eggs too, and they'll both put them in the nest. As you can see, they're looking for the eggs. And now he's spitting them up in the nest. Sorry about the water spots. And these guys have been going for a little while already. They already have some eggs in the nest. But I wanted to let them get into their rhythm of spawning before I started filming them and disrupting them. And if we go over here, this male is trying to get the female to come under his nest, and she's kind of ignoring him right now. He'll go over and kind of flare and nip at her a little bit and kind of try to get her to follow him. And she's not ready yet. We'll go down. They're not spawning yet. These guys are spawning, but unfortunately he put his nest way at the back, so it's kind of hard to see them. Oops. Maybe I can zoom in. Yeah, you can kind of see them wrapping. You can almost see it in the reflection too, if my glass wasn't so dirty. And they're trying to wrap. Sometimes it takes a little bit of practice before you get it right. There we go. And you can see the eggs falling down those shadows. And he's going to catch them, and he's going to put them in the nest. And there you can see him spitting them up into the bubbles. Some males do not build bubble nests, and they'll just kind of stick the eggs up along the water line. So if you're spawning and you're waiting for your male to build a bubble nest, just know that some males just don't, and it doesn't have any effect on the fry as long as the male is taking care of the eggs. Accidentally hit the stop button on the recording. You can see he's looking for eggs. And we'll go check back in with this other pair. And you can see there's no damage. She's got a little bit of wear and tear on her fins. It's not nipping though, it's just from they get to swimming so fast when they're trying to get away from a male that's chasing them that their fins will rip a little bit, but they'll heal up in a couple days. See if I can get closer. You can see sometimes they sink as they drop. You can see some of the eggs falling, and she'll just kind of float back up, and he'll get his eggs and put them back in the nest. Alright, well, we're gonna give these guys some privacy, and I'll chime back in maybe if these other pairs start spawning. Okay, so our two pairs that were spawning earlier have finished, and I don't know if you can see the eggs or not. I'll try to get a better angle. But he's got a good bunch of eggs in there, and she's hiding back here behind the sponge filter. So what I'm going to do now is get a net and get her cup and fill it up and try to grab her out without disrupting the male in his nest. So, and I got her. Just going to pull her out. Normally I don't use nets that often, but they come in handy when you're trying to pull a fish out without disrupting the tank too much. And so now we can leave him alone with his eggs. So she's out. She has a little nip on her caudal fin, but otherwise she's okay. So we're going to go ahead and take her and put her back on her shelf with her friends. And we'll give her a nice big meal. Okay, now I have to get the other girl out. Double check that they're done spawning. He has quite the clutch of eggs going on. Kind of hard to see without a flash though. Alright, so we'll pull her out. Okay, I went ahead and pulled her out. I had to get my step stool out because this shelf is up pretty high. So he's out. These guys have not spawned yet, so hopefully they'll spawn tomorrow. If not, if they don't spawn in the next 2 days, I'll take them out and recondition them for a few days and try again. So I'm going to take this little girl, put her back on the shelf, and then feed everybody, and then kind of leave everyone alone. I try to keep it pretty quiet when I have pairs and spawn tanks, because I don't want them to get disrupted by a lot of noise and activity. So I'm going to just feed everybody real quick and get out of their hair so it's nice and quiet down here. My Dumbos are spawning. It looks like they just got started because they haven't had any good wraps yet. You see he's trying to wrap, and when they haven't spawned before, sometimes it takes them a while to really get the hang of the wrapping. You see there, he just wrapped himself. Let's You notice she doesn't have breeding bars, and some fish don't show those vertical striping, the vertical striping on their bodies when they're spawning. So a lot of times you'll see people say, you know, you need to look for vertical stripes, you need to look for this, you need to look for that, and really the fish don't really play by those rules. You really have to take the time to learn their behavior, and the only way you can do that is through trial and error and doing spawns. So if you watched my video I put out recently, that was a day in the fish room, at the very end I show when I put these pairs together, and I said that she was acting a little bit stressed and would see how she continued to act over the next couple days, and she settled in, and as you can see now they're spawning. So you really just have to learn. You see he's trying to get her to wrap. There we go. He'll kind of nip at her side until she gets into the right position so he can wrap. And sometimes it can take them several hours before they figure out how to get a good wrap. As you see there, he tried to wrap again and didn't get her. So we'll leave these guys to keep practicing and check in later.